Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to respond to disrespect in English. So today is not a grammar lesson. Instead, we're going to be learning real life communication skills that native speakers use to stay calm, confident, and respectful, even if the person that they're speaking to is not giving them respect. Many learners know what they want to say, but they can't find the right words. And this especially happens during stressful situations or high intensity. And it's quite normal as well. Some people tend to be a little bit more aggressive during these situations, and others remain silent. But it's also been found that silence usually comes from the fact that we don't know what to say, or we don't know how to say it politely. Today, I'm going to teach you English phrases that help you stand up for yourself, set healthy boundaries, and remain professional. Within these, we're also going to look at why each phrase works, what situation to use them in, and some alternatives that sound just as natural. Let's get started. Before we jump into these expressions, let's quickly just address something that's quite important. Assertiveness is not the same as being aggressive. Aggressive communication usually is when the other person is being attacked. Passive communication is when you ignore your own needs. But assertive communication respects both yourself and the other person. These expressions are designed to help you communicate confidently but remain professional and respectful. I don't accept being spoken to that way. This phrase establishes a clear boundary and lets the other person know that their behavior is unacceptable. Notice how you're commenting on the way they were speaking, but not insulting them personally. This makes it firm but respectful. When to use this phrase? Someone raises their voice at you, a colleague speaks to you disrespectfully, someone insults or belittles you, a customer or client becomes verbally aggressive, during an argument when the other person's tone becomes inappropriate. Alternative expressions: I don't appreciate being spoken to like that. Please don't speak to me that way. I'd appreciate a more respectful tone. Let's keep this respectful. I won't tolerate being spoken to like that. You're completely useless. I don't accept being spoken to that way. You've cut me off several times now. Instead of accusing someone of being rude, this phrase points out a specific behavior. You're describing what happened rather than attacking the person's character, which makes them less likely to become defensive. When to use this phrase? Someone repeatedly interrupts you. You're being spoken over in a meeting. A friend or family member won't let you finish your thoughts during a discussion where you aren't being given the chance to speak. Alternative phrases are: I'd like to finish what I was saying. Please let me complete my point. I've been interrupted a few times. Could I finish my thought first? I haven't finished speaking yet. Many example. No, that's wrong. Listen to me. You've cut me off several times now. I'd like to finish what I was saying. Can you clarify what you meant by that? This is one of the most powerful communication tools. Instead of reacting emotionally, you ask the other person to explain themselves. It often makes them realize how inappropriate their comment sounded, and it encourages a calmer conversation. When to use this phrase? Someone makes a rude or sarcastic comment. You think someone was being passive-aggressive. You're unsure whether a comment was intended to be an insult. Someone makes an inappropriate joke. Alternative phrases. What do you mean by that? Could you explain that? I'm not sure I understand your point. Can you tell me what you meant? Would you mind explaining that? Mini example. Well, some people just aren't very competent. Can you clarify what you meant by that? I treat you with respect, I expect the same. This phrase reminds the other person that respect should be mutual. It sets an expectation without sounding hostile and focuses on fairness rather than blame. Ways to use this phrase. Someone repeatedly speaks disrespectfully during workplace disagreements, family conflicts, customer service situations, difficult conversations where mutual respect has been lost. Alternative phrases. I'd appreciate the same respect I show you. Respect should go both ways. Let's treat each other respectfully. I believe respect goes both ways. I'd like us to speak respectfully to each other. Mini example. You're obviously wrong. I treat you with respect. I expect the same. Let's keep this professional. This phrase redirects the conversation back to appropriate behavior without escalating the conflict. This phrase is especially useful in workplace situations where respect and professionalism is expected. When to use this phrase? Meetings, workplace disagreements, speaking with clients or customers, professional emails or calls, team discussions becoming emotional. Alternative phrases. Let's stay professional. Let's remain respectful. Let's keep our discussion focused. Let's stay on topic. Let's handle this professionally. Mini example. You're the reason this project failed. Let's keep this professional and focus on solving the problem. That comment wasn't necessary. This calmly points out inappropriate behavior without overreacting. This lets the other person know that their comment may have crossed a line while remaining or keeping the conversation composed. When to use this phrase? Someone makes a personal insult, sarcastic remarks, passive-aggressive comments, hurtful jokes, unhelpful criticism. Alternative phrases. That wasn't helpful. That wasn't appropriate. I don't think that comment was necessary. That was uncalled for. I'd rather keep the conversation respectful. Mini example. Maybe if you're smarter, that comment wasn't necessary. Let's stick to the issue, not personal attacks. Sometimes people stop discussing the problem and they change over to personal attacks. This phrase redirects the conversation back to the actual issue. When to use this phrase? Heated arguments, workplace disagreements, group discussions, online meetings, family conversations that become personal. Alternative phrases. Let's stay on topic. Let's focus on the issue. Let's discuss the facts. Let's avoid making this personal. Let's solve the problem together. Mini example. You're always so lazy. Let's stick to the issue, not personal attacks. I'm not here to be disrespected. This clearly states your expectations of being treated respectfully. It's direct, but it does not insult the other person. It just sets your clear boundaries. When to use this phrase? Someone repeatedly insults you, workplace conflicts, customer service interactions, family arguments, situations where someone refuses to stop being disrespectful. Alternative phrases. I deserve to be treated respectfully. I won't accept disrespect. I'd appreciate respectful communication. I expect to be treated with respect. I'm here to have a respectful conversation. Mini example. Nobody cares what you think. I'm not here to be disrespected. I've listened to your side. This is how I see it. This phrase shows emotional maturity. You acknowledge that you've listened to what the other person has to say before discussing your own thoughts or your opinion. This makes the other person feel heard while still standing your ground. When to use this phrase: disagreements, workplace meetings, negotiations, family discussions, difficult conversations where both sides need to be heard. Alternative phrases: I understand your perspective. I hear what you're saying. From my point of view, here's my perspective. Let me explain how I see it. Mini example: you never listen to anyone. I've listened to your side. Here's how I see it. If this continues, I'll have to walk away. Healthy boundaries have consequences. Instead of threatening the other person, you're simply informing them what you will do if the behavior continues. When to use this phrase: arguments becoming abusive, someone won't stop shouting, repeated disrespect, toxic conversations, situations where leaving is the healthiest option. Alternative phrases: I'll end this conversation. I need to step away. We can continue when you're calmer. I'm going to leave if this continues. Let's continue another time. Mini example: I'm not finished yelling at you. If this continues, I'll have to walk away. You've crossed a line. This lets someone know that they have gone beyond acceptable behavior. It's a strong phrase that signals that a boundary has been crossed. When to use this phrase: personal insults, offensive jokes, inappropriate comments, bullying, repeated disrespect. Alternative phrases: that's not acceptable, that's inappropriate, please stop, you've gone too far, that crosses a boundary. Mini example: maybe your family raised you badly. You've crossed a line. I won't continue if this tone keeps up. Instead of arguing, you make it clear that respectful communication is required before the conversation will continue. It focuses on changing the behavior rather than attacking the other person. When to use this phrase: someone is shouting, conversations become hostile, meetings become aggressive, family arguments, customer complaints that become abusive. Alternative phrases: I'll continue when you're speaking respectfully. Let's try again when you're calmer. We can continue once we've both calmed down. I'm happy to continue respectfully. Let's lower the tension first. Mini example: you never do anything right. I won't continue if this tone keeps up. We can disagree without being disrespectful. This reminds the other person that disagreements are perfectly normal, but disrespect isn't. It's one of the most mature ways to de-escalate conflict while encouraging healthier communication. When to use this phrase: political discussions, workplace disagreements, family debates, friendships where opinions differ, any conversation becoming emotionally changed. Alternative phrases: we don't have to agree. It's okay to have different opinions. Let's disagree respectfully. We can have different viewpoints. Different points don't require disrespect. Mini example: you're wrong, and anyone who thinks like you is stupid. We can disagree without being disrespectful. Let's quickly recap all of today's phrases. Remember, the goal is not to win an argument. The goal here is to communicate clearly, respectfully, and to protect your boundaries. These kinds of phrases are used by native English speakers in workplaces, customer service, family conversations, and in general, everyday life. With these types of phrases, I would encourage you to practice them, even when you're not in these circumstances, because if you practice them, they will come to you naturally when you actually need them. Be cool, not actually. Before you go, could you let me know in the comment section which of today's phrases do you think you would use most? Remember, when you guys give me your experiences. This helps me create videos that are targeted and necessary for you. If you found today's video helpful, please like and maybe turn on the notification and add in a comment of anything that you would like. It really helps push my channel on the algorithm so other English learners like you can find these videos. Be cool, not a fool. Subscribe for more English tips and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future video. And if you'd like one-on-one classes with me, you can scan the QR code on the screen or click the link down in the description. If you're looking for more videos that are targeted at the B1 to C1 level, you can click over here. And if you're looking maybe for lower levels, A1, A2, you can click over here. I hope you have a lovely day further, and I will see you in the next one. Workplace situations, telecoms, maybe even with